to Iceland. Welcome back to a very special video today. I have my friend Gudmar here. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
And today we are at Hestaland in Borgarnes, which is just here. You can see that's just north of Reykjavik. And we are doing a very special video because I'm talking all about the Icelandic horse today. Gudmar is literally the Icelandic horse guy. He is the expert. And I'm so excited to do an interview with him today and tell you guys all about the Icelandic horse and tell you about his amazing farm and riding tours as well. So tell me, how did you get started in this, and how does this wonderful business of yours exist?
Well, I've been all about horses since I was, I think, 6 years old. I started riding when I was 6, and there was no turning back. Basically all I've done my whole life is something related to horses. I started training and riding, like I said, young, and started competing also quite a bit and got very heavily into that at a young age. Then I went to the Hólar College University in north of Iceland.
Okay.
and studied what I could about this, became a certified instructor and all those things. Then I ended up moving to the US. I lived in Kentucky for a long time. Close to 10 years, more or less.
Okay.
Had a great time there, horse country, and had an Icelandic horse operation in Kentucky. Moved back 2013 and slowly started working on building up this idea of Hestaland. So here we are, and it's going well. We are growing fast and having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, wonderful. So congratulations to you as well, because we're out here at the farm. It's beautiful. You are in a beautiful part of the country, and you have like everything, here. You have the stables, you have the indoor, riding arena, and tons of land. So you do the horse tours, which is where you bring people out on guided tours. Can you tell me a little bit about the couple of different options you have? Yeah,
so we have, we do a few different things. We have those shorter tours, so every day during the summer months and by appointment on the off months, so to speak, we take people on an hour and a half rides. We do half-day rides, we do a 4-hour ride, and we're all about giving people good experiences with Icelandic horse. So, and I think the key thing there is to educate them. Even if it's just 10 or 20 minutes in the arena before you go out, that can be make it or break it, whether your ride is going to be good or not good.
Definitely.
So that's kind of what we do, and then we train horses as well and breed horses, and so it's kind of like this working farm experience.
That's awesome. Yeah, so you really do have everything here, because like I said, you have the guest house as well. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty common then. Can people have the full experience where they come out and they stay on the farm, they do the tour or the ride or anything like that?
Absolutely. So you get quite a bit of people that just come with their family for a few days and they stay in the guest house. They ride two times a day or one time a day or go for sightseeing or whatever, and kind of get the whole farm experience. We also offer farm tours where people can just kind of get information about the horse, pet the horse, meet the horse without riding the horse. So.
Okay, awesome. Perfect, so amazing. I can't wait to go out and check out the horses and the stable and everything, but before we do, very important, scout.
Scout, let's go riding.
Let's go riding. All right, so tell me, what makes the Icelandic horse different than other horse breeds?
The Icelandic horse is known for a few things. Maybe the first thing to mention is their history. They are probably the most pure breed of horse in the world.
Okay.
They've been isolated here for over 1,000 years. This is basically the horse the Viking brought with them when they found Iceland.
Okay.
And they sailed over here in open boats, and probably only part of them even made it. So when you start a long trip like that, I think they only chose the best horses, and the best of the best survived. So we started with good horses a long time ago. At some point, don't know exactly when, but somebody was smart enough to make a rule that no importation was allowed. So for those 1,000 years, as far as we know, there has been no importation of horses. And still today there is no importation allowed. So they are probably the most, as far as we know, the most pure breed of horse in the world. They are known for, maybe one of the kind of more obvious things is their size or lack of. They are kind of small for a horse. Always considered to be horses though, because even though height-wise some of them might fall into the pony category, they're kind of on the limit of pony and a horse as far as the height goes.
Yeah.
But they're always referred to as horses because the bone structure and the muscle system is related to a horse, not a pony. So they are a little bit lower to the ground than many horse breeds, but just as strong. So if you look at their joints and feet and bone structure, you'll notice them being just as sturdy as any taller horse.
Right. So don't call them a pony.
Don't call them a pony. We say that the P word is very, very sensitive for Icelandic horse people.
Okay.
Another thing that makes them unique is their gaits. They're quite unique with their gait abilities. They are, as far as we know, the only breed in the world that's ridden on 5 different gaits.
Okay.
We have what we call walk, trot, and canter, which is the 3 basic gaits. And when you watch a Western movie, that's what you see. And then we have this gait we use the most called tolt, T-O-L-T. That's a 4-beat single foot gait. And then some of them have a gait called flying pace, which is a race gait, a 2-beat lateral race gait where they go like 35-40 miles an hour for a short distance.
Yeah.
So those things make them unique. I would say the temperament makes them unique too. They're very known for kind of being full of common sense. They are easy to deal with. Obviously they're horses. They're still an 800-pound animal, but so it's kind of silly to refer to them as totally safe. But for a horse breed, they are very easygoing. They're safe. They're easy to deal with.
So in terms of someone coming as a first-time rider, horses are big and they can be a little scary. I mean, is there anything that anyone would need to be worried about in terms of them being aggressive or easily scared or something like that?
I wouldn't say you have to be worried about anything, but we obviously try to, our goal here is to try to educate people a little bit, and we always have some kind of educational angle on everything we do. Even when people come here for just a short ride, like an hour ride or an hour and a half ride, we always start by going into the arena. We tell them about the horse, we tell them about how to steer it and how to interact with it. So that's obviously important because we are dealing with a strong horse, and if he doesn't want to be controlled, he's not going to be controlled. So you have to kind of know kind of the language. Having said that, we obviously choose very special horses for this, for the less experienced people. So the horses are very well trained in the beginning. I think it's nothing to worry about. I think we, at least here, we try to do our best to help people understand them, to match them with the right horse. If we get a total beginner, we put them on a suitable horse for a total beginner. If we get somebody that is afraid but still wants to go out, we can even have a line on him and go with him like that. So I think there's always a way for people to experience the horse in a safe way.
So I heard that the horses are only starting to be ridden at a certain age, and then typically what is that like and how is the training process going for that?
Yeah, with Icelandic horses it's done slightly different than with many other breeds. We start them a little bit later, so we start training them about 3.5 to 4. Reason being is that we want to give them time to mature, not only physically but also mentally. 6 or 7 is when you start to talk about a trained horse, so it takes a while.
How long do they last? How old is Icelandic horse?
I think Icelandic horses are known for being long-lived, and healthy horses. I like to think it's partly because we do start them later, so they're less likely to break down, so to speak. So I think we can expect the horse to do very well, well into his 20s, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that, or around that time, they're slowing down and maybe have other jobs, but they're known to live close to 30 often.
So tell me, Gudmar, how do you say horse in Icelandic?
Hestur. That's one horse.
One horse.
Hestar would be many horses.
So your name, Hestaland, that's where it comes from.
Absolutely. Hesta is a horse, and land can be either land or country.
Yes.
So this is the horse country.
Horse country. I love it.
That's right.
Obviously. So are the tours running year round, or is there like a best time of year to do a tour, or what time do you stop the tours typically?
We have scheduled tours like 3 times a day or sometimes even more from like May to September.
Okay.
And then after that we are available, but just by appointment only. So people email or call and want to ride the next day, we can arrange that, no problem.
So even tours into the winter months, November, December, January.
No problem.
Do you take an age minimum? Like, is there a kid that's a cutoff?
We can usually always do something, but the smaller kids, they have to be big enough to sit by themselves and hold on, and then we can lead the horse and go for a ride. And the kid also has to be relatively comfortable. They cannot be scared or things like that. If they are too small to go on the ride, we can pony them inside and let them get the experience like that.
Yeah.
But usually 5, 6 and up, we can take them on the ride. Either they ride by themselves or we call it pony them. We basically lead them.
Okay, perfect. Another thing I'd like to talk about, because obviously, tourists are coming, they want to see the Icelandic horses. So people are asking me a lot how they can pet the Icelandic horse. And they, a lot of times tourists, I think, pull off on the side of the road if they see the horses. What's the proper way to go about this? I mean, what do you want tourists to know about that?
I would not recommend that. I think those horses are owned by somebody that those people don't know. The owner might not want them to be petted. Absolutely never feed a horse without anything, without permission, because that can just be bad for the horse. So I would recommend not to stop on the side of the road and mess with horses that are not yours.
Yep.
I would recommend, there are farms, and even here we offer farm tours where people can come and just meet the horse and learn about the horse and pay a minimal fee for that. We'll tell them about the history and tell them about the horse, and they will meet them just like that. So that's an option at my farm as well as other farms also. And even if in some cases when people have asked for a farm tour and we've not been able to accommodate them, I've allowed them just to come and see the horses. They might not get a lot of information, but they're welcome to come and talk to them. So I would much rather want that than them just stopping somewhere.
Yeah.
So just contact my farm or any other farm, and most parts of the country I think have some that are willing to let people come.
I totally agree. You don't want random scraps from your plate to end up in the horses.
Absolutely never feed somebody else's horse.
What is your name? You're so friendly.
Rókur is my name.
You just want to know what's in our hands and stuff?
I just want attention.
I love it. This hair is great. Okay, so obviously Iceland, cold. It's getting cold many months of the year. What kind of temperatures can the horses withstand? And then also, is there a way that you have to store them or treat them differently throughout the winter months?
Yeah, so the way we do it is horses that are not being worked with or ridden, brood mares or horses that are too young to be trained or just not being trained, they typically just live outside. You provide them with some shelter and you feed them, bring those big round bales to them. They usually have almost constant access to food, and then they do fine because they just develop that thick coat and they don't get cold. They can just withstand it. The ones we have in training, we house them, we put them in the barn. Okay. We just turn them out every day. As soon as you start to train them and they start to sweat, they start to lose their coats. And as soon as they start to stay in the barn and it gets warm in the barn from the horses, they start to lose their coats. So you kind of decide that, and they adapt to either one. So yeah, that's kind of basically how it works. And they do fine outside. It's very hard for a horse to get cold. That is winterized. That's been outside.
Mm-hmm. That was so fun, man. I ran. We did the tolt, and Gudmar is an awesome teacher. He just